Happy Friday. I'm Fifi, and we are here on the journey of sharing the things that I'm learning as I do life with God, as I read the Bible daily, as I listen to sermons daily, the things that God highlight for me in the sermons that I relate to what is going on in my life, that God is speaking to me through those things that are coming through the sermon. I'll be sharing something personal today. I've just been going through extreme discouragement, just saying, okay, Lord, okay, what are we doing? It's June already. Will this ever happen? Will the promise of God ever be manifested in my life? I left my six-figure job back in 2023. I was excited, thinking that, okay, we are doing this thing with the Lord. And I'm still here in the wilderness, extremely isolated, no church community, just depending, total dependence on the Lord and attending church online. But at the same time, I'm growing in the Lord, and God is just guiding me, shepherding me in the wilderness. Recently, I've just been going through extreme discouragement, just feeling like, okay, will it ever happen? To a point where I was beginning to think that maybe I should just go back to work. I had a job in Northern Canada. It's an extremely remote place where people don't want to go there. Something that I loved so much, but when I realized that the job that I was doing was actually harming families more than helping them stand on their feet, I realized that, no, God, I don't want to do this. And at the time, that was when I was growing in the Lord, and I started seeing so many things in my job that I felt the only thing that my job is doing is putting money in the bank, but I'm not doing anything to help better people's lives because I'm working within the red tape. So even if I want to go far and beyond for a family, I cannot do that. I can only do what me and my supervisor has agreed. So when God started growing me, and then it was clear that that was just a temporary place of training for me, I ended up leaving. I even wrote in my book, I wrote about the system. I wrote everything that is wrong with social work, with child protection work, with foster homes and all those things. But in my weakest moments of discouragement, I thought maybe I should go back to my job. I was just feeling like maybe I'm delusional. Last week, I was listening to Pastor Chuck Swindoll. He said, never ever make decisions when you are discouraged. Always make decisions when you are aligned with the Lord, because when you are discouraged, the ideas can come, but you don't have to do them. A couple of days ago, something happened, and I felt like, oh, God is about to open doors. And then I realized that it was a fake door, that I was not supposed to go through it. And I was extremely, extremely discouraged. And I felt like, man, maybe I'm living in deception. Maybe this thing doesn't exist. And the Lord talked to me saying, Fifi, you have to distinguish between temptation and a decision that you have to make in order to move forward. And he said, what you have been going through is temptation. The enemy is tempting you with that six-figure job for you to look back. Temptation is meant to be overcome. Temptation is not a green light to say, well, I guess this is not working. I have to take this option. It's lesser than what God promised. Maybe I have to get it because God is not coming through. When the Lord said that, I felt embarrassed because that afternoon I had gone to prayer and I said to the Lord, I said, I don't have anything to say to you right now. I'm so discouraged. I don't even know what to say anymore. After the Lord said that to me, I was listening to Stephanie Ike Okafor this afternoon. Their recent message is called The Cost of Disobedience. The whole message, I felt like God just gave her that message for me. It's not a brand new message. It's a message that happened for one of their gatherings. They just posted it yesterday, but it was posted at the right time. There is technical issues in that message, and I said, oh, the devil wanted to prevent my message from coming through to me. They even acknowledged it in the comments that there's technical issues, but we had to post this message. And the whole message was talking to me. When she mentioned Jesus Christ being tested in the wilderness, I remembered what God told me yesterday. And I said, oh yeah, Christ was tested, but he didn't have to do what the enemy was telling him to do. He had to overcome that. I even thought the enemy was just presenting ideas to me and heaven was just watching to see what Fifi was going to do. Friends, it's a tough journey, but at the same time, God is with us all the time. We are not alone. When Stephanie was preaching and I was reflecting on Jesus being tempted in the wilderness, Remember that in the school system, we are tested on the material that we've been taught. But even if the teacher sees their favorite student there struggling, he or she doesn't go over to the student to help them. The same way, when God is allowing us to go through tests, He's watching us and He will not help us because it's supposed to be a test that tests our character, that tests whether we're getting this thing right or no. When Stephanie was talking about Jesus being tested in the wilderness, she said, many doors are going to be open, and these doors are going to look like there are opportunities, but they are not opportunities. They are there to test you. Are you going to pass the test? And I remembered what I went through a couple of days ago, something that happened that I thought, finally, we are out of here. And although I handled it well, I saw the email and then I went on my knees. I told the Lord, I said, I don't know where this email comes from. You are the only one who knows what is going on. I said, God, I don't ever want to make a mistake. I want you to lead me, to guide me. God didn't say anything. I had to respond the way I responded to that email and did research. I ended up realizing that it was a scam email. That thing wasn't legit, but it was speaking exactly to where I am, speaking to my need. I could have easily blown it. It really discouraged me. After 5 years of waiting, I thought this was finally the moment that was going to catapult me into my destiny. And I started questioning, like, okay, is my journey real though? Is this thing real? But it is real. So when God confronted me and said, Fifi, you have to differentiate between testing and opportunities for you to go forward. What you've been going through is testing. And I thought, I never even thought about it like that. So that's why I'm sharing this. Sometimes God will give us a promise that doesn't make any sense, and it will take forever. And then there'll be opportunities of counterfeits. But those opportunities could be the test, and heaven is watching to say, okay, are you going to take the bait and follow what the flesh wants? Or are you going to stay the course and do the right thing? I wanted to share that because I got blessed today and I was filled with this joy. Nothing has changed. My situation is still the same, but I'm so encouraged that I felt like this one message cannot wait. I have to post it. Even if I post it late, somebody has to hear this to get encouraged. Thank you very much for hanging out. I hope this really blesses somebody out there because it really blessed me. Have a blessed weekend. I'll see you on Monday. God bless you all.